Hey everybody, it's Kimberly Eichelle, and welcome back to another edition of Talented Television. I'm so happy to have you here with me today. First of all, I want to remind you all to press that like and subscribe button. We are bringing you great people on this show, and I have someone great for you today. Thank you for those that have been tuned in and have been locked in since 2018. It's now 2021, and we are still rolling. Today, I have someone special for you all. This is a young lady that I met some years back. You know how you just meet somebody and you just click. She has a beautiful spirit. We were doing a show together at the time, and I'm just glad to have met her. So she's on her own journey now, getting some new music out. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Miss K. Ashley. Hey, Kay.
Hey, everybody. I hope everyone is well. I'm doing fantastic and I'm grateful to be here.
Yes, and I am so glad to have you. Thank you for agreeing to do the show. So tell me, what's been going on with you? How have things been going? Man, for this year and everything that's been going on lately leading up to your new music.
Well, first of all, the Lord has been completely showing out.
I love
I
it.
appreciate Him for that. I, oh, hold on. Well, what else is happening is I have a toddler.
Yes.
He's 4. He will be 5 soon, and he just walked in the room.
Oh, wonderful.
Oh, my word. Son, what can I do for you here? So the Lord is downloading a lot. I mean, I'm learning so much about business and the music industry and writing and leading worship. I mean, I'm just like a sponge right now. So that is my biggest thing. And the Lord is downloading a lot of music, a lot of revelation. And so I'm in absorb mode.
Yes, that's good. You said absorb mode, taking it all in, huh?
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. So, Kay, tell me a little bit about where you grew up. Give me a little bit about your background and when you discovered your love for music.
Oh gosh. Kim, I used to sing so much I would get in trouble.
Wow.
My mom was like, baby, I need a break. I was singing in my sleep. But here's the thing, I did not grow up in church. I grew up in Southern California, like Riverside, Reno Valley, San Bernardino area. And my dad's parents were pastors. They had their own church, everything. My grandmother was the worship team. She
Wow.
had about 3 impossible chords, and I remember her sitting there singing.
Did
That
you
baby
say
had
three and impossible, Kay?
that baby had 3 impossible chords. She will hold it down by herself. But my parents divorced when I was very young. I wasn't even in kindergarten yet. And I remember we would go Christmas, Easter, and visit, and they would have me lead a song. I had to be no more than 4, and I
Wow.
had an older sister and a younger sister, and they were my praise team.
Yes. Kay and the Kayettes at church.
Those are my earliest memories of singing in front of people. So I probably sang nonstop, but as far as being put in front of people, those were my earliest memories. And I was, of course, at 4, you don't know much better. So you just being obedient and doing what your parents ask you to do. But just going throughout, we didn't go to church. Once my parents split, we didn't darken the doorway of a church. We didn't own a Bible.
Right.
We just lived. We were surviving. My mom was a single mom. We were just trying to make it happen. And I just remember around 14, 15, they would try to get me a record deal. My best friend, when I was about 20, drugged me down to some studio. She made me go and sing for these people. And they were like, oh. And so nothing ever really came about. I would be asked to sing for various different things. And I got saved around 23. And that is when I noticed this intense attack.
Wow.
So now that I'm rendering my gift to the Lord, Kim, I would be attacked to the highest degree. I can't even explain it. They'd ask me to sing, and I would be so terrified that I would be angry with people.
Oh my.
because I felt like an elephant was sitting on my chest. And it's bad enough when you're suffering with self-conscious about your voice and how am I sounding, and then you hear, people hear you sounding nervous, you can't sing well because you can't breathe. And so I've suffered with panic anxiety attacks, particularly when it came to singing for the Lord.
Wow.
And I
And so
suffered
you
with,
knew exactly what that was, you know?
yes, ma'am.
So it was,
You know what? Initially, it didn't dawn on me like, oh, this is an attack, because I'm new in the faith. I have no idea about spiritual warfare, none of that. I just knew the stark difference from when I was just out there lollygagging in the world from the time I said, I love Jesus.
wow. And that change came. But
I
I'm so
mean,
glad you have overcome that change and you are
yes.
pushing forward. That's exciting. That's exciting. So I was going to ask you, when things turned around for you, when, you decided to become a Christian, but you said at age 23
Yes.
is when your life took that turn. What was that experience like for you? What led you to your faith?
It's so funny because I always had a reverence for God, because my mother's mother, they used to do church in their home, and she made sure we knew we could recite the Lord's Prayer by the time we were 2 or 3.
Yes.
The whole thing back and forth. So I had these touches and brushes with God. It just wasn't a personal experience. So I had an awareness of him. And then I remember 23, just remembering like I'm looking for love in the club. Like
Yes.
I'm looking for it. Not that club relationships can't work. I realized then I was looking for a godly man.
Mm.
And I was in just doing things because I wanted community and connection, not because I love the club. I didn't even drink him. I didn't
Wow.
go home. I didn't go home with anybody. I literally was there to connect.
Right.
It
Yeah.
was like a Facebook with music.
Facebook with music. Ain't that ain't that something? A Facebook with music, huh?
Yeah. My family had moved back to California. I was here in Vegas by myself, working 2 jobs as a young girl. And I didn't have friends. And I was in the club like, well, at least there's people here.
Yes. You say I'll find a connect somewhere, huh? And then
Oh, yeah.
things turned around for you.
My friends, my good friend from high school, we all played basketball together. She called me and asked me about, she let me know everybody had gotten saved, and do I want to be saved? And we went through this whole thing. And I just knew in that moment it was my time.
Wow.
It
That's
was my time.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful, Kay. So 2020, and of course this year has been very challenging for
Yes.
so many
Yes.
people around the world, not just here in America or here in Las Vegas, but around the world. So tell me, what has been some of the songs to inspire you and get you through this time of pandemic?
It's funny because one of my favorites is God, I Look to You. And Miranda Curtis sings it. I think Bethel Music may have written it originally. I'm not quite sure. But it says, God, I look to you. I won't be overwhelmed. Give me vision to see things like you do. God, I look to you because you're where my help comes from. Give me wisdom. You know just what to do, oh God. And so that is my go-to.
Wow.
And here's the thing, Kim. I have had personal pandemic since at least about 33. I've been in pandemic mode. I'm
Okay.
44 now. And so it's so funny. I have this duality of emotions about these last year and a half, because they have literally been the best of my life.
Isn't that something?
Literally, I mean,
Purpose, even in the midst of pandemic, you know?
when I tell you, I'm very careful about even sharing my excitement about how good this time has been, because I know so many people are hurting. I don't want to be insensitive, but I can honestly say on every level, emotionally, spiritually, financially, every level, just growing in my artistry and musicianship and just stepping out on who I am, it has literally been the best. And my new single actually came during this time of rest.
Let's talk
That's
about that some, Kay. Let's talk about your new single. Tell me the name, and let's just talk about how you were inspired to write it. You said it came in the midst of everything that we're going through, and sometimes that's just how God works. We can still find peace in the midst of a storm. My last guest had written a book during this pandemic, and it was
Mhm.
called "This Crisis Is Not Cause for Alarm." And it
Ooh.
talked about being on the boat with Jesus when the storms were raging and things were going on. And basically he was at rest. Everyone was like, what's going on? Jesus, carest thou not that we perish? And he's like, peace, be still. So he has given you peace in the midst of this pandemic. Let's talk about your song and what it means to you.
So I don't know how God speaks to everyone else, but he's very repetitious with me.
Mm-hmm.
And I kept hearing new day. Isaiah 43, people were quoting it everywhere I turned. I kept hearing new beginning, new day, just different things of that nature. And I was sitting, and because my husband has been off work since last March,
Mm-hmm.
and that has been such a beautiful thing to have him home and just be able to rest and just be here. And we were all here with a friend, and I'm literally just strumming through some chords on my guitar. And I remember these lyrics that I kind of had maybe a few weeks earlier. And my husband was like, babe, what is that you playing? I said, nothing, I'm just strumming through some stuff. And he was like, that's a song. I said, oh yeah. And I just started, and I remembered the lyrics I had wrote down maybe a few weeks ago and started singing through it. And my friend was like, and my husband was like, oh, okay. And then my friend added her little 2 cents in, and that's pretty much how the song came about.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
New day.
New day. So I put in parentheses, I put come Lord, because I mentioned that a lot in the hook also. Mm-hmm. But the premise of the song is new day. And it was almost like God was saying, yeah, things are tough. Things look tragic. It looked like they're not going to get better. But don't forget, number one, I'm soon to return potentially.
Yes.
And all of it won't matter anyway. But number two, this is not, you don't operate in this particular realm. When you're in the kingdom, it's very different. And when a new day is when you open your eyes in the morning. A new day is 2 minutes, 2 seconds from now.
Yes, absolutely.
So it was the perspective of new day. Like, hey, don't get caught up in what it looks like. Don't get caught up in what's going on currently, because you know how I am and you know how I do. I shift stuff in a millisecond.
Mm-hmm. That's good stuff. So new day. I see you have your guitar there with you. Is there, by chance, we could get a little live version of New Day?
You're so funny, Kim. There is new day on the horizon. We're excited. Oh, come, Lord. The earth is waiting. Great expectation. The sleep awaken. Oh, come, Lord. Come, Lord. the angels we cry, holy.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. That is so pretty, Kay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. Oh my goodness. So, Kay, we know that you have a toddler at home because he just came in the room to check up on you. So, tell me, where do you find time between being a busy mom and a wife to write your songs? And where does the inspiration come from?
Absolutely. Well, I am retired now. I retired to stay home with him, so that freed up a lot of time. And my husband is completely amazing. He knows who I am. He knows what God has put in me. So he makes sure I have those blocks of time to just write or get somewhere where it's quiet. Because I find that if I sit down and quiet for a couple seconds, the Lord gives me everything I need, whether it's encouragement, songs, you know what I mean? So for me, quiet, just being able to sit down and just get quiet for a second, I always get inspiration. Whether, you know, so my husband affords me the opportunity to do that. He is really good with that.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. So as you wrote New Day, and I'm sure as you're writing other songs and things over there, what do you hope the listener gains from listening to Kay Ashley? What do you want them to take away while listening to your music?
Yes, it's so funny because I had to sit down and think about this. I was typing up my bio from our website, and this term came to me. I want to be a hope distribution specialist. And like for me, my biggest thing is no matter where I am, no matter what I'm doing, I want people to understand the true nature and character of God.
Yes.
Because trial, difficulty, things we're looking at that don't look like they'll ever change, sometimes have a tendency to shift our perspective about his character, about what he said, and about who he really is, and about how in control he really is, and about how much he actually loves us. So I want to write songs that point our mind back to the fact that he's sovereign, that he sees it, that he saw it before it happened, and that he got it. You
Absolutely.
know, so that's my goal. Just let's not shift our mind about his character and his intention toward us when things get difficult.
That's so good, especially at a time like this, because a lot of times when we do go through seasons, and changes and things like that, people like to point their finger at God. Like, why did you do this? Why did this happen? If you're God, why, are people dying and all of those things? But the Bible tells us that he's the same yesterday, today, and forevermore, and that trials really come to make us stronger.
Absolutely. And you know what really got me here, Kim, where I really just put my yes on the table and said yes to the Lord? He allowed me to have a transition experience. I was passing away 4 years ago when I had right shortly after I had my baby.
Wow.
And I was out, my body had separated from my spirit, and I was in my hospital room. I remember feeling tired. I had just come off of surgery, and I wanted to take a nap. And they had called a cold on me. I didn't even know, Kim. Doctors and nurses are just rushing around. I mean, it's chaos in my room. And I see my doctor who just performed the surgery. He's standing in the corner like this, like he's in disbelief. My nurse, who was so sweet, became very stern because they had just brought my baby in. She said, he has to go. And we looking at her like, girl, this baby just latched on. What's wrong with you?
Right.
But she's watching my vitals plummet.
Wow.
And so long story short, I'm feeling weak and tired, all this noise. And I go, oh, I'm taking a nap. I'm going to let them figure it out. Kim, I do this. And when I tell you, in that moment I close my eyes, everybody disappeared.
Oh my goodness.
I'm in my room. Every living thing disappeared. My room was exactly the same. The only difference was I'm looking around the room like this, and I'm looking at my bed, but I'm not in it.
Oh my goodness.
So, but it was like, but here's why I bring this up, because here's what set me free ultimately. There were a lot of things that led up to this, and I was, insecure and nervous and anxious and fighting who I was because I was just so fearful. But here's how the Lord set me free. He said, Kay, because here's the thing, Kim, all I could think about was how peaceful it was. That's the, if there's a such thing as peace being intense, it was a consuming peace. Like I could not think of, all I kept thinking, and I still had my faculties. I was thinking, having conversations with myself, and all I kept looking around my room was saying, wow, it's peaceful in here. That's all over and over and over. It is so peaceful. And I'm looking at the bed I was just in, and I'm not there. Wow. But all I can say is, and so only thing was in the room was this beautiful mist that had these intermittent, beautiful sparkles, like glitter nails almost. And the mist was raising like this from my bed. This how slow. And I'm looking at it in my, because it's beautiful. And I'm like, wow. And in my knower, I knew someone was passing away. And I remember having that thought, like, oh, but this is how I had the thought, like, oh, someone's leaving.
Having no clue that it was you.
Yeah.
On your way out, looking at you weren't even looking at yourself. You were just looking at the bed.
The bed, and the mist was rising from the bed, though.
Oh, my goodness.
Just like this. And I'm just like, ooh, all I could, and my cousin said, well, what about your newborn and your husband and this? I said, girl, it might sound weird, but I ain't thinking about them. They didn't even cross my mind. When I tell you it was a consuming peace, it was like I had never experienced before.
Oh, my goodness.
I can't even adequately describe it.
Hey, that is so deep.
Ma'am.
So deep.
And I woke up in ICU, spent 5 days in ICU. I had a doctor for every organ. I needed 5 pints of blood. I was not supposed to make it, period.
Mm-hmm. So you are here with a testimony.
Now.
And it is truly a new day.
It's a new day.
It is truly a new day. And so, you know, I've known you for some years, you know, many years now. And I see the change. I see the change in your confidence. You've always been talented.
Yeah,
you've always been gifted. I remember, and I do not see that Kay. I see a brand new woman. And sometimes, many times, that takes an experience with God himself. It takes an experience, and you're blessing me. I want you to know that you are truly blessing me right now, because I still have those moments where when it's time for me to get up and sing, oh my goodness, I'm like, Lord Jesus.
Lord Jesus.
Lord Jesus. But it's something about when we allow him to take over.
That's it.
When we allow him to take over, nobody else is even in the room. Like you said, nobody's here. It's just me and you at this time. You know, it's just me and you, Lord, at this time. And so it's a whole new experience once we allow God to have his way. So you had a true encounter. Wow.
But this is how he ministered to me, because I'm clueless as to what really has happened. I didn't put all this together till later, like, I'm not, and even if I made it, I'm supposed to be blind. I'm supposed to be missing a couple of limbs. Like, I know several women who went into septic shock.
Wow.
I had sepsis. My blood was poisoned. Every organ was shutting down. So typically they have to cut off. I know a young lady got cut every limb because they had to save her life. That was the option they had. A worship leader I know, she's been in hospice since 2010. She cannot get out of the bed. And she went septic 12 years ago.
My goodness.
11 years.
My goodness.
And so it is something about the fact that God not only preserved me, but I'm whole.
Yes.
I'm not even on a prescription. I only need glasses for night vision, and that's probably only because I'm 44.
Right. At this point, yes. Believe me, I know.
You understand? So when God does stuff so dramatic like that, he ministered, he said, Kay, if you don't have to be afraid of death, he said, if my word is true, because I thought I was going to sleep, Kim. He said, the saints sleep in me. I literally felt tired and thought I was taking me a quick nap. That's precisely how I felt. And when and this how fast it went, Kim, I was like, oh, I'm sleepy. And I was gone. So this is what I mean. We don't have time to dwell on what's wrong.
We don't.
We don't have time. We need to just sit and calculate his goodness.
This is so good.
And if you can't find nothing right now, just check the backlog.
Yes.
Go to the card catalog in the microfiche for the older people. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Exactly.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Go back in your file.
You hear people say, check his track record.
Listen.
Check his track record. He does not fail.
But I would have never thought dying would have been the best gift he could have gave. He allowed me to experience transition. And so I try to share that everywhere, because ultimately this is why we're so afraid of COVID and everything else that's going on right now, because we're facing death. We're facing death daily. And I'm here to tell the saints, it's like he said, y'all, it was the most beautiful experience. It's to the degree I crave peace now. I have to, I find myself just trying to get alone and get in that. It's almost like I'm trying to get back there. When I tell you I love peace,
right,
even more now.
Yes, indeed. You can appreciate it.
Absolutely. I'm taking up your whole show. You got questions?
No, you're not taking up my whole show. I'm enjoying every moment. That's why I'm glad to have you here. And that's why you are here, because you just gave a testimony that's truly going to touch someone's life. It's going to touch someone's life. And especially, like you said, in a season such as this, where fear has come upon so many people, especially when this thing first started, nobody wanted to go anywhere. You didn't want to talk to a family member at times. You know what I'm saying? It was just like, where you been? You been covered, But to know that to be with God is to be at peace. Is to be at peace that surpasses all understanding. Now you know what that really means. When we hear that, you now know what that really means, because you've been there.
I mean, my whole family had COVID, and it didn't look good for a while, in the sense of I ended up in the hospital, but my breathing got labored. I was in so much pain. I feel like I got in a car accident. Like it could have went another way, but I wasn't afraid of if it did go the other way.
Right.
I was willing to embrace my promotion, because that's what it is. It's a promotion.
A promotion. Oh my goodness. Who describes death as a promotion?
That's what it is. Because it said to be absent from the body is to be present with the Lord. That's a promotion.
Yes. And with Christ it's to gain, right? So it is. It's definitely a promotion. But I have never heard anyone describe it that way. Only Miss K. Ashley. So Kay, let's talk about it a little bit more. So if you could see young Kay, young Kay, that timidness, that shyness, what would you tell her now? How would you encourage little Kays that may be watching that they can do it?
Absolutely. It's more one of my favorite scriptures. Well, one of my absolute favorite is wisdom is the principal thing, and in all thy getting, get an understanding.
Yes.
Because my issue was I just didn't understand who I was.
Wow.
I didn't understand. I had identity issues. My dad wasn't around. My mom was a single mom trying to make it happen. So I'm literally like just trying to, I didn't have godly influences. We didn't go to church. So I'm this lost little girl roaming through trying to be accepted, not understanding my worth or my value, not understanding I have a gift. And this is what we don't understand when we're gifted. And this might help you too, Kim. I mean, we get it, but I don't know that we process it properly. Like, it was not our fault.
Absolutely.
Like what software what app did you pull up before you was born and say, you know what, let me get that alto?
Ain't that something? Right.
What computer program did the Lord have you filling out? What before you got here, say, you know what, I'm gonna take that nice high soprano. I want to get that whistle tone Mariah got.
Yeah, he gave it to us.
It wasn't my fault.
Yes.
So I have a workbook I want to write called Gifted Gideons. This is exclusive here. Nobody take my idea.
I know that's right. I'll take it copywritten because it's already been recorded. Kay said it.
Because that was me, God calling you to do something. He's calling you to step up and you're
Yeah.
gifted. He's put it in you, but you are terrified.
Oh, yeah.
The ones who are the most gifted are typically the most terrified. The ones who God wants to use the most, who have the oil, who have the yoke breaking things in their vocal cords, he's going to try to smash us to oblivion and make sure we never get free and released.
Yeah.
That's my, have an understanding, like it's not your gift. It's yours, but he gave it to you to share, not to hoard in the bathroom, not to sing under your cover, not to only sing for your mama. No, he gave that, especially if it's excellent and it's quality and everybody say and everybody request you and all that, that wasn't your fault.
Yeah.
But it's an indicator of what God wants you to do with it. He wants you to share it. And what else would have helped me is I will be accountable.
Yes, we are.
I will have to stand before him and explain why I did not use what he gave me for his people.
And we don't want to do that.
Yeah.
I always think about the parable of those that were given the talents, and there was one who went and buried the talent and said, well, I knew you were a hard master and you were coming back for it, and he's like, you sluggard,
It's really about obedience. Because
it really is.
You can't say, like, if you're going to be fornicating and not using your gift, it's falling under the umbrella of, do I have enough relationship with my father to not want to please him?
Yeah.
My daddy. So he's not he's so gracious, because I'm telling you, Kim, this is an 18-year period. This is 18 years worth of being mad at people because they asked me to sing, trembling and shaking.
Yeah.
I could pass out. 18 years it took all, and he was so gracious and merciful. He didn't take me out. He didn't let me die. He said, nope, I'm preserving your life for right here because I got something for you to do.
My goodness. Woo. Good. That's good. That is good.
I would tell her, baby, get some understanding about who you are, who your daddy is, and what he wants you to do.
Yes. So once you come into the realization, and sometimes, like you said, it took 18 years, for many, it takes a long time to really come into the fullness of who you are and recognize who you are. But when you do, it's such a powerful thing. It's such a powerful thing to know and behold, what God has given you. I was talking to a friend of mine recently, and she was basically just saying, Kim, there's a difference between a gift and a talent. You could be talented at many things, yeah, I can do this and I do it well, I can do this, but the gift that you have received, God has placed an anointing on it. Whatever your gift is, that thing is going to make room for you in this earth. If you say yes, like you said yes, Kay, after you came out of everything that you went through, out of the storms and the rain, and you gave that full yes, that gift started making room for you. It's always been there, but now that you said yes, you're able to go out and minister and not be afraid or nervous of what people might think or people might say, or whatever the case is. I'm here to bless people, to lead them back to the Father, So it's a beautiful thing. I'm here to bless people, to lead them back to the Father. So wow.
The thing is, they want to be led.
Absolutely.
People are coming in broken.
Yeah.
Coming in wanting something to help, to suit, they're not concerned about what you got on necessarily. They're not concerned about how you sound necessarily. They want to be led. They want to get in the Father's presence as bad as you do. Absolutely. And so if we can convince ourselves that they're not tripping on me that much, they got a lot going on. They don't know where their baby at. Their husband left. They got negative $3 in the account. Like, there's a lot going on.
That's the truth. And we realize that it's not about us, but it's about him. When we realize that as the instrument, that it's not about us, yes, look nice, look presentable, all of those things. But when it comes down to it, when you open your mouth to do whatever it is to do, or when you use your hands to do whatever it is to do, that it's about him, ultimately for his glory.
And the ones who are sitting there critical, they probably didn't come to see him in the first place. And we can't do nothing about that.
We can't do we
Take a
can't
walk
do
on
nothing
that.
about that because they come. They come. Okay, take a sip. Take a sip. They come for a performance. You are absolutely right. There is nothing we can do about that, Kay.
But the ones who come, they are broken and they are hurting, and if they're there, they seeking God in the first place.
Yes.
And it's just our job to release the presence.
Mm.
That's it. I don't have to, Kim, I don't perform. I'm telling you, I don't do nothing extra. I go and sing what the Lord's given me to sing with everything I got, like it's my last time, and then I go sit down.
Wow. I love that. I love that. Beautiful. Kay, thank you so much for sharing your story. Oh my goodness, it has been amazing. I have learned some things that I never knew about you. So this has been good to me. Before we leave, I have a part of the show that is one of my favorite parts is when I get to learn from the artist, when you get to teach me something in particular. So do you have something that you would like to leave with me today?
I do. I want to encourage you to pick up some instrument, whether it be a piano, a guitar, a flute, a triangle.
Yes, come on, Triangle. Yes,
Have you seen one of these?
absolutely. I have one. I ain't never played it, but I have.
Don't play with me.
I'm so serious. It's green. It's beautiful, Kay. But I have never played it. As a matter of fact, it needs new strings now because it's just like,
I was like, no, what can I teach this baby? I said, oh, I'm gonna do something different. I'm gonna break the ukulele out. So I just I got this actually. I was in Maui with some
wow,
girlfriends celebrating a girlfriend, and they pitched in and got this for me because I've wanted one for a couple years.
wow.
And I said, oh, I'm gonna be different. I'm gonna teach her a little chord on the ukulele. And
Yes.
I realized the Hawaiians don't say ukulele; they say ukulele.
Ukulele. Yes.
Uku. And so when you get your ukulele fixed,
Yes.
I'm gonna show you how easy it is and how you're gonna be playing right away. Okay.
I'm excited. I'm
So
excited. That thing been sitting on my shelf. I got mine in San Diego. We went to San Diego, like Old Town, and it's a lot of like shopping and things down there. And girl, I got one. It's so cute.
ain't it cute? And listen, so you know these the frets, right?
Okay.
It's the first fret, second, third, right?
Yes.
Come down to this third string. You're gonna put your ring finger, right?
Uh-huh.
That's a whole C chord.
Whole C chord.
You
Come
see
on.
how easy that? Come on, Kim.
Come on. Look at that.
Boom. You in business. This
I,
action. You in business.
wow.
So
Wow.
that's what I came to show you. I wanted to encourage you that if you hadn't thought about it, think about picking you up piano. My husband teach piano. He'll get you up running. Learn something just because it'll help you with your creativity and songwriting and worship leading and all of that.
That is so beautiful. Thank you, Kay. That is so beautiful. Look, it was such a quick nugget, but it was the nugget for me. You ever seen one of these? I'm like, I got one. That's how I know that it was for me. And I have been thinking about playing an instrument long ago, like fifth grade. I played the clarinet. So I had, that little musical ear or whatever. And I actually was asking for one for my birthday. My sister-in-law was like, girl, I ain't getting you this. You gonna sit it under the you ain't gonna do nothing with, this pandemic, girl, got me thinking outside the box. I'm like, let me get an instrument. Let me do something.
Yeah, we better live.
I'm telling you, I'm in this house. I ain't been able to see a whole bunch of people. So I'm like, let me pick up an instrument. And of course, like you said, I do write and things like that. So with that being said, yes, Kay, you are absolutely right. It's time for next level living.
Absolutely.
Yes, indeed. Kay, I can't wait to see you, give you a hug, and maybe we can sing something together. That's going to be so exciting. So exciting. Kay, thank you so much for joining me today For those of you who are wanting to hear more of New Day, and I know you're out there, and you want to follow Miss Kay Ashley, Kay, let them know where they can find your music and how to follow you.
Yes, ma'am. The single is currently available on my website. It's kashleymusic.com. You can get it there. There's another site for musicians. You can follow me at kashleymusic.bandcamp.com, where you can pay more for the single. Like if you just want to be a blessing, you can add more to it. It's not just this one price. So that's been a godsend. That was created in this pandemic for musicians and artists. So you can find me there, kashleymusic.bandcamp.com. And I will be streaming on every digital platform on Good Friday, which is April 2nd.
Beautiful, beautiful. And do you have any social media handles that they can follow you at?
I am on Instagram. I'm Restore Sound. Kay Ashley on Facebook.
Awesome, awesome. Good, good. I am sure you are going to gain some people after this because they want to hear more about what you have to say. So thank you all so much for watching Talented Television. Again, if you are interested in being on Talented Television, make sure you email me at talentedtelevision@gmail.com. We are waiting for you. We're waiting for you. Use that gift. Also, please tell a friend about Talented Television and also subscribe. Press that subscribe button and the bell so you'll get the notifications on when the new shows are coming out. So until next time, thank you all so much for watching, and we will see you soon.